Welcome back to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. We're back at Bryant-Denny Stadium inside the Advantage Center at our podcast studio. I'm Roger Hoover, now pleased to be joined by Alabama defensive back Keon Sabb, who had 2 interceptions for the Crimson Tide in the win against Western Kentucky. And Keon, rolled Tide. First of all, welcome to Alabama. How have you enjoyed it so far?
I've enjoyed it a lot. It's been a really fun experience so far. Continue to see how far it goes, yeah.
Well, we're certainly excited to see you on the field for the first time in a Crimson Tide jersey and maybe not playing against the University of Alabama. How has that transition been, going from Michigan, who you played with and beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl last year, to now being a member of this program?
It's been an interesting, different transition. The players and the coaches made it a lot easier. Just everybody being accepting to me. Some people may have thought it would have been a little tension, me coming from a different school, but it was all love. We ended up getting really close, so I think it was a really good thing.
Yeah, how important was that? When did you arrive in Tuscaloosa? Were you able to go through spring practice?
Yes, I arrived around February, and I got to do spring, so I got right in right away, got a chance to acclimate with the team. So by the time camp came around, I wasn't like a new face anymore.
And, of course, you're getting to know Coach DeBoer and this coaching staff just like everybody else, even if they played for Alabama last year. Just how is the coaching staff bonded with the players?
I think it's a really unique experience on what we have as between coaches and players. It's really like a players team, but the coaches they're so involved, and I feel like they just help and guide us make the right decisions as well as they're making the right decisions as well. I think it's just a really kind of chiller, mood out there. It's really fun though. It's really fun.
How do you like playing for Coach Linguist?
I love it. Yeah, Coach Mo, he's a great coach. Always teach me something. I feel like I can always learn from him at some point.
Of course, he's your secondary coach, Kane Womack, your defensive coordinator. What does it say about Alabama? Those guys left Division I head coaching jobs to be here.
It says a lot about the University of Alabama, what a historical place this is, that people do what they did to come here and get a coaching job. So I'm sure they're all into it for sure.
Have you liked this swarm defense style?
Yeah, Swarm D. I love it. That's our motto, and that's what we stick to. That's what we go by.
What do you feel like is your role in this defense?
Just being another leader in the secondary. Just being a guy that guys can depend on. Just being able to do my job at all times, so guys can look up to me and ask me any questions. And I'm an open book. I'm always ready to help.
You got your first Alabama experience on Saturday, but you mentioned some young guys. They got their first just college football experience in that ball game, especially in the second half. What'd you make of the newcomers in their debut?
They handled it amazing. I couldn't even imagine how good they did it. It was a lot different for my first time, but those guys went out there and handled business and made some really big plays.
And what does it say, too, about Red Morgan, the fact he's able to get on the field this quickly?
He's beyond his years. Talent. He's super talented, and he's learning the football side of it, so the sky's the limit for him for sure.
Well, the defense certainly with some big plays early for the Crimson Tide with your 2 interceptions. Just walk us through, first of all, that first interception.
The first interception, just eyeing the quarterback down, trying to give him different looks to make him feel like it's kind of a different look than he thought. Opened up a way he might have thought I was taking a guy in man and end up breaking off into, right into the pick. He kind of threw it right to me. Coach put me in a great position. We worked it all week. So it was a really good one.
And then how about the second interception?
The second one, it was a little different. Another opportunity for the coach to put me in a really good position. And I just felt like I read the quarterback's eyes. He made it stay on the route a little too long, and I ended up jumping it and went from there.
Everybody on Swarm D wants that turnover belt. What did it mean when you got to lift it up? Not once, but twice.
Oh, it was amazing. Once I figured out the turnover belt was, I always wanted to get a chance to put it on, just have it across my shoulder or being able to just take the picture with the guys.
That's really good to see. As, again, you've played some at Michigan. Now you're coming to Alabama. You also come in with an established leader in the secondary in Malachi Moore. How do you see him as a captain impact this team?
He's a special player for our team. He's really like one of the guys, one of the hearts of our team. He leads us through everything, workouts, meetings, anything we got. He's always a guy in the front of the line, teaching guys, helping guys along, and the standard for sure. He knows it.
And then for you, going through fall camp, practicing against Alabama's wide receivers all camp long, how much did that make you better and more prepared for what we saw last Saturday?
It made me so much better. I feel like I'm a way different player from in the spring till now, just being able to compete against the top guys in the country day in and day out in practice. So I hope they elevated my game, and I hope I elevated theirs as well.
Of course, you got the honor, SEC Defender of the Week, SEC Freshman of the Week, Ryan Williams. Have you gone up against him much, and did anything about his performance surprise you Saturday?
I wouldn't say the performance surprised me. The kid is super talented, one of the most talented players I've seen for sure. And the sky's the limit for him as well. By the time he gets the end of this season or wherever, everybody's going to know his name as if they don't already now.
And then how about competing against Jalen Milroe? What do you say out of him?
Super talented guy. You know, we got talented guys all across the roster. It's a little different from seeing it in the game into now in practice. I try to take a piece of information from him every day. We sit right next to each other, and Ryan in the locker room is to my left and Jalen's to my right. So I always try to take a little piece from both of them and learn as much as I can.
Now you're getting into game week after the Western Kentucky game is over. Something that's a little new around here is a Sunday practice. So what are those practices like as you guys try to bounce back the day after the game?
It's like the 24-hour rule. Coach DeBoer harped it a lot. Just being able to have the game the next day, see it on tape, you know, and not lingering throughout the week. You get the film done. You get everything out of your system, everything you need out of it, all the positives and negatives, and you get to be able to start the week faster. On that Monday, you're already ready to go on the next team. We already talked about it on Sunday night, like, all right, this is the film that we're going to watch. So I think it puts us ahead.
For you specifically, what are some things you want to clean up this week, or what's going to be your focus in practice?
Just my technique, being able to every play be the same, look the same, just having that consistency out there, being able to just have everybody's consistency as well. So that's what I say it is.
What have you learned so far about South Florida and the style they like to play with on offense?
It's a lot of tempo, so they're going to try to make sure, you know, we're getting lined up. So in practice this week, got to make sure everybody's getting lined up before the offense does. So we shut the tempo out, then it'll be a different game. We'll be working from there.
Something that's really new in college football this year, you talk about getting lined up correctly. Deontay Lawson has the headset in his helmet, so he's hearing from Coach Womack. How does he relay to you guys where you're supposed to go? Are you still looking for the sideline for very much? How'd that play out first game?
It was a little different in the beginning when he couldn't use the helmet, and then we ended up being able to use it. Just using signals sometimes, or Deontay just telling us to call from where he is. We just got to run over to him, line up, get the call from him, then we go from there. And I think he does a really good job with that.
You've, of course, played in front of some huge crowds, whether in bowl games, playoff games, and obviously your home games at the University of Michigan. But how'd you like game day here in Tuscaloosa for the first time?
It was an amazing feeling. I could feel it just from warm-ups. Even though it was raining, there was still a lot of people out there. And then once the game happened, the first kickoff, and then especially being a night game with the lights, it was something else.
What else have you liked about being a student-athlete here at Alabama?
I just love the Southern hospitality. You know, the weather out here is really good. You know, the food is really good. I just love the University of Alabama.
What else should our fans know about Keon Sabb?
I love to fish, and I'm a really good basketball player. I'm pretty decent. One of the top guys on the team, you know, play some pretty good basketball.
Have you done any pickup against our men's players?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But if they're into it, I'm interested for sure.
I think you could probably find a game, but I think Coach DeBoer wants you in the weight room or practice.
Yeah. Not anytime soon, but after the season, it's off season for sure.
Have you found a good spot to fish in around here?
Not yet. I've been fishing a couple of different spots, but we're still looking. I'm sure I'll find someone at some point.
Oh, that's good. Well, Keon, congratulations being named SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Your fine performance against Western Kentucky. We look forward to seeing you in South Florida in the rest of the year. But thank you for your time with us. Roll Tide.
Thank you. Roll Tide.